Hello and welcome to bonus stream. Hi Nick. So far you're the exclusive recipient of my welcome. I don't think anyone's looking for me right now. I'm not even looking for myself right now. But I didn't get any new work today, so I'm thinking probably today's a day off. So you are the viewer for today. Oh look, Mike is here too. Mike's here too. Welcome Mike also and Nick. So yeah, I was playing Final Fantasy XIV a little while ago, and then I was like, well, why the hell? I should stream. Why shouldn't I stream? It's a nice, once you get the story rolling, it's a nice sort of grindy type of game. That's why I kept thinking as I was playing it this week that it could be fun to stream, because it's a good sort of grindy experience. Oh, my mic was out of position. Dark Jake! Talons of holy shit, another stream justice! That's right, man. Welcome. Welcome, sir. This has been my current little spare time obsession this week so far. I thought about actually playing more Subnautica today, but the fact of the matter is, over the past year, I've played a lot of Subnautica. It's not that I'm not going to stream it anymore. I did have a lot of fun, and I plan to continue exploring it. But the game that I've been drawn to in my own time this week has been Final Fantasy XIV, because it's been 4 years? It's been 4 years since I played it last. And it's improved. It's gotten better. Like, I had some performance, like, latency issues. I think last year they rebooted, like, they changed the whole server location, got all new equipment. And that was one of the reasons I kept putting it off, because I got server lag, and there's a lot of active, like, dodging that you have to do in this game. And it was screwing me up, and I got frustrated. And it's one of the reasons why I stopped playing. And they seem to have fixed that issue, at least for me. Your thumbs are here, but only for a minute. Have fun while you can. Thank you, Mr. Rilo. I appreciate at least your thumbs being here, even if only for a minute. So nice, those thumbs. Big fan. Fell asleep in last night's stream, not even sure when that happened. Yeah, you did go dark, but Nick, I gotta say, I think it might be a good thing that, you know, you still stay up late, but maybe not all night. You know, that's maybe good. That's where your body is supposed to fall asleep. Like, in particular, when I used to work graveyard shifts, and there's a particular around the 3 o'clock hour, the 2 to 3 o'clock hour, your body really starts sending signals like, hey buddy, it's time, let's go. I remember officers, I didn't like prod them to make sure that you'd see them starting to slump over. You're like, hey, you all right? Oh yeah, I'm good. You should be sleeping. I may make it to your voice. All right, man. Well, if you need a lullaby, let me know. I can do, even though the stream's just starting, I can give you a lullaby. Are all the games scrolling by in your Steam library? Yes, Mike, this is my newest general background video that I've been using. And it is, in fact, screen captures of my Steam library. Like, I opened up Steam and took screen caps and went into a video editor and stuck them together, made it 3D, made a nice smooth scroll. So that is literally my Steam library rolling by. Although I don't have Final Fantasy XIV in Steam. I've never... It's weird. It's like if you have it in Steam, you can't have it anywhere else. And I don't have it in Steam, so... I don't know. Sony and Final Fantasy franchise is a little weird that way. Not your body. Your body likes the night. Likes to boogie on the disco floor. All right, Nick. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're not like everyone else. Maybe you're special. I'm willing to grant you that. So, let me see. We got a few minutes left. Now, one thing I was mulling over is, I think if I end up streaming this regularly, I will probably end up doing my main in this game. How many of you have played Final Fantasy XIV? Because it might bear some... It might bear some explanations, because the Final Fantasy franchise, both 11 and 14, both somewhat defy conventions of what's normal for MMO in certain ways. In fact, Final Fantasy XI didn't even feel like an MMO. Final Fantasy XIV, when it first launched in its mess state, was still really weird and not standard. And they streamlined it a lot to make it feel more like an MMO, but there's still things about it that are not very different. A distinct lack of Shovel Knight. Are you talking to me? When have I ever had Shovel Knight? Oh, you know what? It's on my wish list, though. In fact, Mike, was it you? Who was playing Shovel Knight recently that I was watching? Was that you, Mike? I was watching somebody play Shovel Knight in the last couple of weeks, and it prompted me to put Shovel Knight on my wish list. Because I was like, oh, that... I kind of, like, was watching and thinking, I wish I... Now I kind of want to play that. So even though it's, like, it's probably going to piss me off and I end up not liking it. That's why I'm waiting for a deep sale on that. Defense Grid... Some of those choices are concerning, but Defense Grid Grew is on there, so... You really Defense Grid 2 is what makes you excited, Rilo? You're a vampire. Fun vampire. Draw all the fun, you drain all the fun out of the room. You played 15 minutes and hated it. Did you play 15 minutes and hated it before it was relaunched? In 2013, it was a massive... Like, the game was a failure. A total failure, and they fired the original people that headed the design, brought in new people, and were like, we can't fix it. We have to start from the ground floor and rebuild it. Down from the engine up. So it's been a lot better with the rebuild, but it's still not everyone's cup of tea. It is a little more grindy than most MMOs like WoW or something. However, they do have a promotion going where if you start on a preferred server, which is a less populated server, they'll give you a massive experience rate boost, which I've been taking advantage of. So that, since I've been playing this week, the grind has been minimal. Shovel Knight is dope. Several months ago, someone was playing Shovel Knight recently. Ali Hernandez, call! If you want a gaming experience similar to Shovel Knight, try Chimera, Destroy All Monster Girls. It's free, but it's so good. I'm glad they pay. Okay, that's... I gotta try to remember that, because I was watching someone play Shovel Knight and just thinking, I really don't even have games like that in my library. The closest thing I could think of was Spelunky, which is... I don't know, it's a little more, like, stressful, because it's all about time trials and shit, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I like to be able to take my time. Idiotic 2.5 second global cooldown stays. Okay, well, yeah, there is that cooldown. So, yeah, I was saying, initially, the way this game is you can have alts, lots of alts, but one character can do all the character classes. Like, you can switch on the fly, and if you get up to certain levels in certain classes, you'll get skills that will transfer that you can still use when you play other classes. It's a little bit interesting. So there's somewhat of an encouragement to make one character, get it to level cap, and then instead of making alts, you don't even have to get the level cap first. I mean, you can be level, you get bonuses if you do. It makes it easier to level other. But you can, like, play 5 levels of a warrior and then go and play 5 level. I think it's level 10 before you can switch, and then go and start playing a mage, and then go and start playing healer. But I was thinking, if I stream this, I probably want to create a game exclusive alt, at least to begin with, so that when I launch the game, people who haven't seen it yet can see, like, the intro cinematics and how the story launches and all that sort of thing. And then maybe if I do stream this more over time, I'll maintain my special YouTube gaming character just for YouTube gaming. But it's sort of like I did that in WoW, and I swiftly switched over to the character that I just happen to be playing the most of my own time. So we'll see. But for now, I'm going to start a new character once I jump in there in 28 seconds. You never played MMOs, you played and beaten every other Final Fantasy game. You have a big idea how it works. It's more MMO than the old games. But some of the class systems are kind of similar. Like, the concept is the same, but it doesn't... It's like the other ones, you had those severe grids and things like that. It's not like that. It's just... it's a lot more straightforward than that. At least now it is. It used to be more convoluted, and they streamlined the multi-classing now as well. A couple rounds to make before pillow time. All right, Rilo, have a good, I guess, night for you. Rilo night? Whatever, when the sun's up, it's Rilo night. You rest up. I know you gotta rest up so you can work your magic this evening, sir. You've only played 4 Final Fantasy games, Nick? Let's see. I played the original all the way through. I played what would be Final Fantasy 6 all the way through. 7 all the way through. 8, I got stalled out about halfway in. There were mechanics in 8 that I didn't like that made it more tedious, and I never finished. I did finish 10 all the way through, and I was in the middle of playing 12 when my PS2 stopped working. So that's the last one I finished. I started playing 13 on the PC once they ported it over, and I probably got about 10 hours in. I kept feeling like I'm giving it a chance, and I wasn't gelling with it. But Final Fantasy XIV has a very classic Final Fantasy feel. It feels a lot like the world from Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy IX, if you know, where this sort of the classic mage, warrior, rogue feel, and it's just oozing with Final Fantasy-ness. There's chocobos and all sorts of that sort of thing. Hello, Julio. You donut eater, Julio. How you doing, buddy? Final Fantasy XIII is not a good one to start on. Absolutely not. We're gonna play 15 too. I only play on PC, so if they eventually port 15 to the PC, which, if history is any indication, it will happen eventually, I will play it. I think Final Fantasy 15 looks a lot like something I would like. I know some people didn't care for it. A lot of people really liked it. I have a feeling I'm gonna really like it when I eventually do play it. All right, well, the timer's up, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the game, and, oops, hold on. There are some cutscenes to introduce. The first cutscene is sort of explaining, because the old game they ended, and the old game ending was they used a cataclysmic world event that paved the way for the new one. So there's a cutscene wrapping up and setting up the world for Realm Reborn, which is the reboot. And then there's, once I get in with a character, there's going to be a character-specific cutscene. So it's story-heavy, which is one of the things I actually like about it. Royal Edition has already been announced for PC. Awesome, Mike. Yeah, I'm all over that. I knew it was probably just a matter of time because they've released every other Final Fantasy, but sometimes you gotta wait a couple years. Yeah, Alonso, 15, I looked at the reviews, and to me, I thought 15 looked really nice. And I feel like the changes that they made, they're always changing up their formula in Final Fantasy series. They're always innovating, and sometimes that pisses off people that liked it the way it was. And they don't think it feels right anymore. And also, they have a tendency toward convoluted storytelling. I'm not gonna lie, but anyways, I'm gonna get a little bit quiet as we let the 45 seconds. Let me see here. I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna let the intro cutscene go, and I'm gonna more or less stay quiet during the cutscene. And I think it's actually a few minutes. I'm not sure. I know it's like maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. It's not a 30-second cutscene. We'll put it like that. But it's pretty nifty. So we're gonna do opening movie first. Oops.
Hydaelyn. A vibrant planet blessed by the light of the crystal. Amid azure seas, encompassing the westernmost of the 3 great continents, there lies a realm embraced by gods and forged by heroes. Her name, Eorzea. The annals of Eorzean history chart the rise of a succession of great civilizations, each one enjoying an age of peace, the Astral Eras. To date, all have proven ephemeral. In the year 1572 of the 6th and most recent Astral Era, the Northern Empire of Garlemald amassed a great army at the heart of Eorzea, seeking dominion over all. Rising in desperate resistance, the forces of the Eorzean Alliance met their would-be conquerors in the field. Yet, even as the battle raged, the lesser moon, Galamond, was plucked from the heavens through imperial machination. From its core emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who unleashed his fury upon the realm. The devastation brought Eorzea to its knees and the era to its end. 5 years have come and gone. The light of life still shines upon Eorzea. Man labors tirelessly to raise himself from the calamity's ruin. The realm is forever changed, a stranger to him once more. Yet heedless of what lies ahead, he shall press on. Spurred by the promise of peace and prosperity. Amid this period of great change, an adventurer arrives in Eorzea, one whose tale is yet unwritten. May he ever walk in the light of the crystal.
Okay, I was being quiet there because I wanted to let that cutscene go. Nick, you scared me a little bit when you said content claimed, because I've seen Sony be aggressive about taking down videos over certain, like, copyrighted music sometimes for Final Fantasy. I thought it'd be a little too soon for, like, because I've had, for video content, if they're, I've before, only once, I've been shut down midstream because somebody had a very aggressive content ID matching policy. So I was a little worried, like, my stream just got shut down. But anyways, welcome, Madros. Yeah, you can try this game for free. There's a 15-day free trial, so if anyone's curious, I don't know what kind of restrictions it has, but you can try it for free. And then, I think to start, there's regular price to get the basic game is $19.99, and that comes with an additional, with a free month itself. Total nostalgia. Yeah, that's why I wanted to play this, because I wanted to play a game that felt Final Fantasy-y. I've got a few games. I've been playing this guy, and it's sort of been my main recently, but I want to create a new character just for the stream, and possibly it'll become my YouTube character. I did actually create an appearance already. I believe was it this guy? He was going to be my big tall G-Law. So, because I don't want to end up spending a half hour in the character creator. This is the Final Fantasy version of me. And I'm gonna accept that. And I'm gonna start off as, oops, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to move forward. I'm not saving data. Hello, A-Ray. It's Final Fantasy 14. Let's see, I'm gonna do the corresponding date for what today would be. So it's first Astral Moon is January 26th, is the birthday of this particular character. And there's the different gods. They actually don't make that much of a difference, but I'm gonna do the ruler of rivers and wisdom, because he's gonna be all about learning things about himself and the world. And we're gonna go with gladiator, so you can sort of see an idea of what a decked out gladiator is gonna look like. Essentially, a gladiator will evolve into an advanced class of paladin, which is, surprise, surprise, one of my favorite types of classes to play. Final Fantasy 6, 7, Tactics, and 10 are your all-time favorite Final Fantasies. All right. Those are, I played 6, 7. I never played, I think I rented Tactics once. And at the time, in the 90s when I tried it, I didn't get what it was doing. And I was just disappointed it didn't feel like a Final Fantasy game, so I didn't play it. One of those in retrospect I may eventually go back and take a look at. Where's the tux? Fake news. Oh, hold on. Here, do you need this, Nick? Will it make you happy? Let me see. There. Here. Does that look about right? I'm a palatux. Anyway, now I'm gonna put that away. And law. Yes. He needs a tux. You love tactical RPGs, so yeah, I didn't at the time. I'd never heard of a tactical RPG. It was relatively a new concept at that point. I mean, it's sort of like one of the early actually it's around the same time as the original XCOM, but it's sort of in the same, you know, family, if only distantly related. Okay, so we're gonna go with the gladiator. You have better, much better, I mean. It fits so well. I'm not, no. I've been making everybody in Goblin. So that's so we're gonna do Goblin. And let me see, he's gonna be Garamond. And what should I make his last name? Should be something Garamond. I could make him Garamond Hawk. Or Hawk. Something with Hawk in it. I haven't thought about what to name him. Law. Something with you with a Law or a Hawk. Maybe just be Garamond Hawk. I don't know. Anyone have any suggestions? The first tactical RPG you played was Shining Force on Sega Genesis. And Shining Force 2, also on Genesis. Was Shining Force a tactical RPG? I didn't remember. I never played Shining Force. But I thought it was more like the original Final Fantasies, where you had 3 little guys lined up along the bottom, and it was turn-based. You just picked a skill and a target, and that was that. But I don't know. I've never played it, so. Garamond Lorenzo. I could go for that. You think do you like that name, or is it? Before I confirm, if you mean that as a joke name, then you're like, I'm gonna make him name this guy Lorenzo. But I think Garamond Lorenzo actually sounds kind of cool, to be honest. Anyone else? Either Law or Hawk into the last name. But I think Garamond Lorenzo, actually, that works on a lot of levels. Lorenzo Hawk. Ha. Yep, Garamond Lorenzo. I like Lorenzo Hawk. That sounds good. I'm doing it. Lorenzo. That just rolls off the tongue nicely. Lorenzo Hawk. Should I put an E on the end just to make it like fancy old Englishy? All right, let's do that. And I believe it's gonna launch us into another cutscene once we've got this confirmed. Begin a new game with this character. Yeah, so once his little cutscene goes, I'm gonna get quiet again because then it'll be his specific character launch cutscene. And here we go. Right after this loading scene. But I like the art on the loading screen. I was all ready to. I can't just let a silent loading screen go by. I was ready to let the game take over. Now it's like I have to awkwardly fill between 10 and 30 seconds, but be ready to stop at any time, so I can't start a conversation. Here we go.
Here. Here. Feel.
All right. I feel like the opening cutscenes for this are kind of epic. It's a little cryptic. You don't really know. It's classic Final Fantasy. It looks awesome. You don't know what the hell it means or what's happening, but something epic and wonderful is happening. All right, now I guess I'm gonna read this stuff, like the cutscene stuff, because it's not fully voice acted. That's one of my only disappointments about this this came out in an era where other games were fully voice acted, and I feel like this one should have been too, but only specific cutscenes do they actually have voice acting. Hey you! Oh. You alright, lad? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Guess was all just a weird dream, huh? Feeling the effects of the Aether, I reckon. You'll get used to it, though, don't worry. You there, halt! What's this all about? Inspection. Men, search the carriage. Oh, doesn't bode well. Are these guys legit? I'm just an honest peddler, friend. Don't be disappointed if you don't find nothing, eh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. But this guy does not seem legit at all. It was quite a dream. Sir, look, somnus. That sounds like some sort of a drug. I think it was a plant. I don't trust these guys at all. Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days, unless you can afford the fine. That is shady as shit. Heh, business as usual. Oh. I'm not even gonna say that name. Amalja! To arms! To arms! You're gonna have to do all the weird pronunciations in this game. 7 hells! Consider this a warning. Now go, all of you! I don't like the guards in this realm. They're assholes. But I guess they're earning their pay right now. Phew, that kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. Be careful round them brass blades, lad. Bastards will have your shirt off back if they fancy it. Or the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits they are, only less honest. Yeah. Thank gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, eh? That chick in the back was nonplussed by the whole ordeal. Hey, seeing as we've still got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Yeah. These young'uns don't much care for conversation, see? Yeah, they are totally nonplussed. I wonder if you've been in this cart for like weeks with those people? That would suck. Brent's the name, and peddlin's my trade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. Yeah. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's risky business. These days especially. What was in that? Whoa, what was it that first attracted you to it? Power, glory, or massive fortune? Nothing. I want to make the world a better place because I want to be a paladin. None of the above, thank you. I don't know. Well, if you ain't inclined to tell, I ain't about to pry. Might be as old Brent's a chatterbox, but he sure as hells ain't no busybody. We all have a secret or 3, don't we? Me? Dozens. You know what I'd like to see from Sega? Another Phantasy Star. not Phantasy Star Online. Yeah, it's been a long time since an actual Phantasy Star RPG. And I'd rather they stayed secret too, which is why I don't go sticking me nose where it ain't welcome. Just remember though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit being dead, and that's a fact. By the by, is this your first trip to Ul'dah? Yeah, for all practical purposes. It is. Well then, let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Uldah's ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folks know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarist cronies would happily get rid of Her Grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists. And the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no signs of stopping. Of course, the Lizardmen, that's Al-Mal Jah, couldn't care less about Ul'dah politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. A lot of exposition in this game. They say war is a gift to peddlers. Need, breed, and profit. And though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. Ah, at long last. Behold, Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalin, where folk turn sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises, a solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance. Her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the seventh umbral era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
And here's where we part ways, lad. I'm off to the market to deliver my wares, and then it's onto the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me prattle. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become sort of storied personages, and I can bring about Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
So as far as MMO openings go, that's on the grander side of things, that whole presentation. It just, they really should have had it more voice acted, I'll be honest. It still irks me a little bit. Oh, here we go. The big city. I'm finally made it to make my fortune. That's gonna be his accent. I'm a great adventurer. I hope to be a paladin someday and bring justice to the people. Oi! Venturer, over here! I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance? Hey, how can I tell? Name's Wymond, and my business is knowing every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city? Free of charge even, just this once like. Welcome to Ulda, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the deserts of Thanalin. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. Oh, they're doing like everything new. Mouse and keyboard, baby. Okay, I know how to do all this shit. Here, turn this off, turn this off. This game, now first order, oh hey Chris Plays Games, what's up, man? No, I didn't get new work. I had work for the last couple days and I finished it last night before my stream, and I was wondering whether they would send me more today, but I'm thinking they're probably it's not gonna be till Monday. But if I actually get an email saying that I've got work sent my way, I might end up stopping the stream in a hurry, because at this point, if I have work on hand, I need to be aggressive about starting. In fact, I'm gonna make sure that I have access to my... Alright, I got my phone, so if I get an email, I will know right away. Did I say hello, Nolan Wolf? Streaming again? How pleasant, thank you. Music is making you want to load up SNES and play Final Fantasy IV. Yeah, it's very, very classic Final Fantasy. That's one of the reasons why I was in the mood to play this, because it's just oozing with Final Fantasy-ness. Who needs to work? Just people who need money, silly gaming player. I'm one of those people, Chris. I need lots and lots of money. And especially since I'm pretty sure Sony is going to... Is it Sony that does Final Fantasy? I'm pretty... Square Enix is going to take all my monetization. If they don't, in fact, block my video worldwide for playing the music in the background. You need the money too? Yeah, I hear you, man. Okay, so first things first. There is a massive amount of customization you can do for the HUD. What I'm gonna do instead, let's get out of here. I'm gonna log out of the game real quick, because I can go in and, let's see, I have to go into the actual setting folders and transfer settings, like all the customization of the UI from another character that I have it the way I like it. So we're gonna do that. It's just gonna be a sec. Actually, really quick transition, because I've learned how to do this. So that should do the trick. Gonna get back in towards game. You need work and money. Darklit, I hear you. Hi, did I say hi, Darklit? I know you came in during a cutscene. I might not have actually said hi. Okay, I'm logging in. I'm logging back into the game in the background. And 5 seconds of gameplay. Here we go, back in. Because otherwise, I don't want to end up spending, you know, however long adjusting the interface when I've already done that on another character. So I just drag over their settings for that. Yeah, hey Thamriel. Holy crap, you know what? Well, I watched your video, is this still worth playing in 2017? And it was one, I started getting an itch about it, and I was looking up videos about it to see, like, what the state of the game is, and you're one of the first videos that came up. Ladies and gentlemen, Thamriel is another streamer, and he also does VODs about various games, and you did, like, a whole series of was it the guide? You did, like, a 2 or 3 part extensive guide for this, didn't you? Lorenzo Hawk. I'm playing on Goblin, because Goblin right now has one of those super XP accelerants. So essentially, all I really need to pay attention to is is the main storyline. I just finished all the intro cutscenes and all that stuff. So you're on Exodus, okay. So yeah, I've got that, the road to 60, which is kind of nice, because in this game, I mentioned you can level up all the different characters, but the quests you can only do once. So one thing to do is if I can level up just doing the main story missions and skip some of this other stuff, then I can come back later when I'm leveling other classes, and if I need experience, I can do the side quests, which are, you know, they still have stories attached, but they're in some ways just sort of generic, go kill a bunch of stuff type of quests. It's okay if I didn't, Darklit, and yeah, since this game is so story-driven, I wanted to take a back seat during cutscenes and that sort of thing, and sort of let that stuff play out. This game is pretty story-heavy, all told. Let's see, this is, okay, this is just stuff I'm gonna be getting. I might not even need the tips. I'm just afraid I might get to a point where I will need them. Don't be like that, friend. I promise I'll make it worth your while. Maybe I have to take his damn quest. Okay, I feel like I do. Basic controls. What's all gooey? What happened? Now, I get paranoid because I'm using different streaming settings today. I decided to try the 720 so I can do 60 frames a second. So the resolution's a little fuzzier, but the stream should look smoother. So I'm experimenting with that recently. Looks good quality-wise. All right, good. Yeah, because if I can get away, I don't like it when it's performing good, the game performs smooth, but then the stream makes it look a little bit choppy because for some reason 30 frames a second. Maybe it's because I play 60 FPS everything. When I see 30 frames a second on my videos, it's a little jarring to me. But a lot of the time, that's sort of the best way for me to do. It's the optimal settings. But in this case, I was experimenting, and I thought this game looked all right at 720 compared to some games don't. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. "'Tis plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you'll certainly get mugged or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the Quicksand and speak with Mamodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild and can set you on the right path." Alright, I can work with that. "Just take those steps over there yonder, pass through the double doors, you'll find her inside." Everything looks and sounds great. Thanks, Dark Litten. I was typing up a response on Facebook. Oh, iPad. Excuse me. I might have capitalized. Noodle. Uh-oh. And as much as you're getting... that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with adventuring, adventurer. We got a quest, duty list. Okay, I already know this part. I've been playing another character. One thing that's kind of cool is there are actually 3 different starting areas. So I actually have not done this content. I played this game 5 years ago. One thing I mentioned earlier at the Amiral, you might know the history of this, but they just updated their servers last year, like major location and technology upgrades. And back when I tried this in 2013, when I built my PC in 2013, this was the first game that I played. And I was really into it, but I was having a lot of latency, and it was screwing up my ability to dodge all the area of effect attacks, and it was getting frustrating because I was trying to play a melee character. And one of the things that compelled me to look back into this and try it again is I was so frustrated by that latency that I would check in periodically to see if it had been fixed for the people who were having it, and it sounds like it has been for a lot of people. And since I started up again this week, I haven't noticed that problem at all, so that's been pretty sweet. But I haven't been, therefore, in this town since 2013 or 2014 when I was playing this I was playing this in December 2013 and January 2014. That's when I stopped. You've never played a Final Fantasy game before? Well, this is not typical of a regular Final Fantasy RPG, but it does feel and look very Final Fantasy-ish. I mean, I consider it a true Final Fantasy game in style and substance, if not in traditional gameplay. Yeah, the North American servers were moved from Canada to okay, well, see, that helps a lot because I'm in California. So that might be a big reason. And the network issues have already been resolved server side as well. Sweet! Do models skate in this game if you repeatedly tap forward? Does the run cycle account for the weirdness, or just make it look like you're skating? If I read it he sort of starts... I mean, it sort of looks like he's... There, he's moonwalking now. So there's a little bit of like he has to lead slightly into his run. If that's what you mean. But one thing that in other games is like in WoW, if you fidget like this, it actually has you shifting your feet. Or if you turn while standing still in this game, you just kind of spin. So that's one little thing I'm not... You need to play a Final Fantasy game to get in Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, it's true, and that's in fact true for just about any Final Fantasy game. Even though there's Final Fantasy 15 is out, they've had 15 title like headlining games in addition to spin-offs and that sort of thing. All of them stand on their own unless there's a particular spin-off, like Final Fantasy 10 had Final Fantasy 10-2, 13 had 13-2. And those were spin-offs of those particular worlds. But in terms of the main numbered games, you don't need to... There's familiar elements between all of them, but they're totally different worlds. You just... Like, they may all have chocobos. They'll all have a character named Sid, but it's not supposed to be the same person from one to the next. It's like a different iteration. So there's these weird through lines that happen between all the games, but you don't need to know... At all need to know ones from the... Like, stories from the past games or anything else. It's just... There's always a nostalgia feeling coming back because no matter what the world is, there will be familiar elements in it. And it's one of the, I feel like, the big draws and staying power of the series. That's pretty nice model work on the walking. Spinning, yeah, the spinning thing is the thing. Alright, collecting awards. Okay, I'm gonna proceed and talk to this lady. Yeah, I was saying too, I wish they would have voiced this, because the game would really benefit from these scenes being fully voiced. Do any of the other later content, like the expansions, address that issue, Tamriel? Because I don't know anything really about... I just know as they released the expansions, things were supposed to get a lot better. Storytelling was improved and so forth. Why, hello there. Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Yo, you've got this game? Alright, cool. Name's Momodi, and I own this fine establishment, if it please you. Also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah. So you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you, that is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. Like our conflict with the Amal Jah, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on, forever now. Then there's the Garlean Empire. No one can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry. Worry and lingering feeling of loss. Sexy. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the lesser moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an 8th hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. 'Twas like the end of the world had come at last. But then things began to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next. Some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that, but the fact is, they don't. Nobody does. They're all trying to forget the original launch of Final Fantasy XIV. Even the characters in-game are trying to forget. There's one thing the survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are just as jumbled as those of the Calamity itself. Let me see, since the game was restructured from the 1.0 patch, I'm almost bankrupt, but yeah. They had to cut corners on how to save the game from death. Oh yeah, I can imagine. So the game was redone. Right. Now known for keeping the game going into... Okay, but I was just... Yeah, I just know that in most MMOs, as years go on, like, if they keep releasing expansions, they put more into them. Like, if you play World of Warcraft from vanilla-ish up into the present, the storytelling becomes dramatically more fleshed out when you get into the last, like, 2 or 3 expansions as compared to before. So that's why I was kind of curious if once... Because it has, after the relaunch, it has become a success. It's one of the... It's probably, arguably, the number 2 MMO on the market right now in terms of, like, pay to play. I think, isn't it? I mean, it's like right... It's right behind WoW in terms of that model. Only ones that get more players are ones that are just straight up free to play. Story's pretty amazing in Stormblood right now. You personally love it. That's the one that just came out, right? Is that the one that just came out within the last few months, isn't it? Burning Crusade content feels so dated. Yeah, totally, Nick. When you're playing World of Warcraft and you're, and Cataclysm revamped, even the Cataclysm content is dated compared to the new stuff. But the 1 to 60 world is Cataclysm, and then you go into Burning Crusade, and it's like you stepped into a time machine into the past. It's all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's just dated. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. Deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you... Oh wait, I already read this. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten. So we call them the Warriors of Light. And if I'm not mistaken, the Warriors of Light they're supposedly referring to the characters that, if you played the original version of the game through the story, they're referring to the stuff that you would have done in your old characters. Like your old group or band of characters that finished out the story. Is that right? Did you ever play the original one, Tamriel? Yeah, the Warriors of Light are the 1.0 players. Right, okay, cool. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'll be happy to let you join the guild. Alright then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on you to help put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand, too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register, neat as you can. Lorenzo Hawk. Lorenzo Hawk? Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. I told you, Nick. It's a great name, man. Nick helped me out with that. All right, Mr. Hawk. It's like from, but that's when I play Fallout 4, what Codsworth, my robot servant. Mr. Hawk. On behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 is my witness. I swear to you, I'll bring your money. Uh-oh, what is unfolding here? In the East, it is said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. It's a debt collector. Be grateful you were given a 4th chance to offend. You too, attend this scum. No, please, mercy. Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Nor an uncommon one, if I'm honest. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. I've been playing in like the elfy foresty area with my other character, and it's so nice compared to this. This area is seems so like brutal by comparison. You came with the Heaven Sword expansion pack. Okay. Yeah, I think that I'm trying to remember what that was on the radar. I can't remember if it was actually released by the time I started. Because even if it was, I wouldn't have bought it yet till I got up there. Hey, let me see. I didn't see Maxie come in. Hey, well, sorry if Maxie, you still here? I didn't mean to ignore you, man. Talons are taking a break from playing Fallout to watch G-Law's stream of Justice. Gotta go for now. All right, Damriel. Well, thanks for the little bit of info to my questions, and also for you putting out some excellent content that got me excited to jump back into this game again. So I have you in part to thank for me, and I'm really enjoying this game too. So, anyways, thank you for that, sir, and you have a great weekend. All right. Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Oh, I got that one. Okay. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, all right? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes and the woman folk from time to time. What's that supposed to mean? Any road, welcome to Ul'dah, Lorenzo. Mr. Hawk, take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little about our fair city. So much exposition starting this game out. It's not like this the whole time, I swear. Alright, hold on, I'm realizing I need to move the chat down just a little bit. Thinking like maybe that'll be good. Alright. Main scenario quests. Okay, so when you see guys with this on it, that's the main story. And the main story is like the good stuff. Then there's general quests, like you'll see other ones, just regular exclamation marks around. I'm not sure if there's any in this room. I'll be skipping most of those for now, and the other kind of quests there are class quests, which have like blue icons. So what I'll be focusing on are the main quests and the class-specific quests that help you progress. And for the most part, I'll be running by a lot of general exclamation points in this playthrough. Let's see, she wants you to perform 3 tasks that'll help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform, so as to help you get to know the place. First off, I want you to visit the Aetherite Plaza. To get there, head west from here until you reach the Emerald Avenue. Then look to the north. You should see a giant floating crystal called Aetherite. If it weren't for Aetherites, travel around Azoria would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. If you ever attuned with an Aetherite before, Lorenzo? If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you've done that, I want you to pay a visit to the Gladiators Guild over at the Colosseum. That's my character class I've chosen, as Gladiator. Assuming that sword ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, over on the steps of Thal. Goods from across Azoria and beyond turn up there every day. You'll have no trouble finding armor, weapons, or anything else a fledgling adventurer like yourself might need. You might say that everything's for sale here in Ul'dah, as long as you've got the gil. Gil is the currency here. Hey, Brian Chimichanga! I think I know what I'm having for dinner tonight. I'm gonna a Friday night Taco Bell again. I need to find a place that sells decent chimichangas here. As the case is right now, the only way I can have a chimichangas is to either make one myself, which sucks because I don't have a deep fryer, or to get those. They're basically like frozen burritos, chimichanga style. Anyways, I know there's got to be a better way to do it, but there's got to be a better place to find some around here. But damn you, Brian Chimichanga, and your delicious name! And welcome. It's good to see you, sir. Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought. It's talking about the marketplace. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think there's no one looking out for their best interests. This is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the market once he's read it. In short, then, visit the Aetherite Plaza, the Gladiators Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Oh, but before you go, a word of advice. While there are more than a few unsavory characters out there who will try to take advantage of you, there are also some with honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. Those are those exclamation points I was talking about that I'm largely going to ignore, because on this server, there's a massive experience rate boost, so I will not need to do all those. I can save those for later in case I need, when I'm leveling up another character class, I might need the experience then. A lot of folk are lured to this city by the promise of wealth and power. What many of them fail to realize is that instead of chasing after Gil, the moment they get here, they ought to be making friends. Let it be known that you're willing to give them as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smith over yonder. These lads always have good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it for me. It's past time you get going. Thank God. I'm tired of reading. I want to start running around. Eventually maybe even hit something with my sword. Oh, and let me know when you've finished, will you? That way I won't spend my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a guild to your name. Hey. So, it's a little bit extra tedious because the character I just did is sort of a version of all this at the other place. So it's this game is very wordy, which that's one of the reasons why I wish it was voice acted, because now I feel like I've set this precedent where I'm reading out everyone's dialogue, and sometimes the game gets wordy. I'll just say that. Alright, sanctuaries, this is a city. Sanctuary, for special area. I think the whole town is considered a sanctuary, isn't it? Maybe just the inn. I have to double check that. Pressing M, okay, I know how to do that. A lot of this stuff I obviously already know how to do, but it's just thrown at you because you started a new character. Greetings, I am one of the smiths, a stoker of fires and forger of futures. As a dedicated member of the Adventurers Guild, I have been entrusted with the task of providing assistance to new adventurers. I see you've but recently taken up Adventurer's mantle. The possibilities stretching out before you must be positively daunting. At the Adventurers Guild, we see new adventurers as fledgling heroes. You are our champions of tomorrow, our nascent stars. I don't know that word to say. Anyway, nascent. Stars of limitless potential. My fellow smiths and I are here to provide you with guidance, but the guild also enlists a cadre of veteran adventurers who will be happy to share with you their accumulated wisdom. You can recognize these helpful men and women by their title of mentor. Mentors stand ready to advise you on any aspect of adventuring. They have hundreds of quests under their belts, and they will likely have a solution for whatever dilemma might be causing you trouble. A mentor may even offer to accompany you on adventures. So the game has something built in to encourage experienced players to take a role to help out new players figure out what the hell they're doing. I haven't yet to take advantage of that, but it's kind of cool that that's basically what I was talking about. I need to finish reading. Blah, 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 blah. It's enough. I think your sword is going to rust in its sheath. Yeah, we're gonna get things moving. She said, where was the Aetherite Plaza? I'm just gonna do a lot of running around at this point, to be honest. I don't think it needs to be done in a particular order. And then there's lots of little things that you can click on too, so you can teleport within the city. Oh, it's nighttime. I like the lighting in this game. Like when you're in town, it gets, the outdoors is, for an MMO, a little bit on the dark side, to be honest. It's not like you can't see, but it's dark enough to be like that the lights are atmospheric. So right now, yeah, I'm just gonna run around a little bit. Look for. I'm gonna ignore the exclamation points. And oh, looks like I need to. Here, I like having that on 7. I don't ever use that. That's the thing, you can push that to make a guide open up in your browser. Oh yeah, no, I don't even want these out here, because I already have them on this bar. These are leftovers, because when I transferred all the settings from my other character, that was one of the things that transferred, was the stuff that was on their hotbar, which I don't even, some of which I don't even have. This is big. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do first is, can I hit that? Wait, maybe I need, okay, you know what? Where the hell is Aetherite Plaza? I actually feel like I probably need to go there first. But now I don't remember. Tune yourself. Oh, it was right there. Alright, let's turn back. I just ran right by it. I'm glad I double checked that. Yeah, but reading all that dialogue is almost, it's like tiring. When you're silently playing, when you're silently just playing with yourself, you don't have to talk so much. Alright, now I'm attuning to this. Hail, adventurer! Might you have come to at the behest of Miss Momody of the Quicksand? Yes, that's true. Hey, little guy. Excellent, which brings us to the matter of the attunement fee. That will be 100,000 gil, if you please, sir. This guy's full of shit. Ah ha ha ha! Apologies, but I do relish the opportunity to make that jest. The look on your face was absolutely priceless. It was to look like I was about to split your lip, right? Ah, but the fact you were so easily deceived suggests to me that you are unfamiliar with the use of aetherites. Allow me to explain. That's enough. I don't need to read all this stuff. It's basically, it's a teleportation hub, and it costs money. That once you unlock them, you can teleport to it from other places. It's also like a home point that you can come back to. And I don't need to read all that stuff. When you're silently playing with yourself, make sure you're making sure not to disturb the wife. Yeah, I don't want to disturb her with my loud playing with myself. Gotta be quiet. But play with yourself quietly. Otherwise, it's rude. Okay, so now we can continue. And then you can unlock the little, like, sub-teleportation points within the city. And that makes it a lot easier and more efficient to get around. Because it's, that's free. Teleporting different from one little crystal to another within the city. I can see the other one up ahead here, and I think this one is right next to the guild that I'm... right next to my guild. The Gladiators Guild. Oh, that's the basically the Black Mage Guild. Alright, I know it's called the Aethernet. Isn't that clever? Alright, so I guess if I go inside here, is that the idea? There is instancing in this game, or like different zones. That's one. Oh, did I take a wrong? Did I take a wrong turn? Yeah, I'm gonna. I didn't mean to visit dead people. I want to visit people who are alive that can teach me things. I think this was. Yeah. So that's one thing. The game is very detailed. The graphics are very nice, but they do have Like the cities are split up into little loading zones, which thankfully don't take very long. But they are there. Oh, I forgot I have the armory chest. Wait, do I have stuff I'm not wearing yet? Left ring. I guess I picked that up from one of the quests and I didn't realize it. It's one of the things, the inventory system is a little weird in this game. So they've got like general inventory and then they've got inventory just for your armor. I mean, I guess it's a way of sorting things out and stuff, but then you have the armor, there's a separate inventory sheet for every different type. So it's a little, again, they do certain things in this game that are just a little bit weird, you could say. So I need to go that like downstairs, I'm guessing. The city can get a little confusing, and it has been. It's been like 5 years since I've been here. This is looking promising. Oh no, let me see. Is this? Here we go. So yeah, and I think I'll do the guild quest, and then what other quests they have in my guild, I'll do those as well. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, friend. Tell me, are you new to the thrills of mortal combat? Well, whether you are or not, you're new to us. If you would take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting. And like as not, far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there's no other way if you mean to take to the blood sands one day. And why wouldn't you? The Colosseum is only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the syndicate? Ah, there's not an Ul'dan alive who isn't inspired by the rise of the self-made man. And there's not a truer embodiment of this than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, this guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight and triumph amidst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy. And if your soul stirs, join us. Okay, did that. Let's see, a portion of the piano in one of the songs that's played sounds similar to the theme from Up. Only like 10 seconds though. That Pixar movie? It doesn't surprise me. It's got, I don't know. They like having sort of grand, it's a Final Fantasy thing, I would think. But you mean very particularly like the song. I don't know, it's been a long time. It's been like 10 years since I watched Up. So. Reaffirm your desire to join the Gladiators Guild. Yeah, I chose the class, I'm gonna join the guild. First, become the class, then join the guild, then buy the action figure. Let's see, what'll it be? Will you rise to above the masses and inscribe your name in legend, or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? Well, she's really framing it in such a way that it feels like I definitely need to join a guild. A decision you shan't regret. One moment. Make way for Lorenzo Hawk. Fresh meat coming through. Oh, that's great. Thanks. I feel famous already. Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Mila. Seek her out and obtain her approval. And she's probably right. Yep, 5 steps away. Hold on a second, I need to step with water. I'm kind of looking forward to just grinding a little bit in this game. I heard Lurutsu, so you're Lorenzo Hawk. 'Tis a good, strong name. Hear that, Nick? On behalf of the Gladiators Guild, allow me to welcome you. I am Mila, Guildmaster here. So you wish to study our arts. I presume you have reasons for choosing the sword over all other weapons. Perhaps you think it easiest to learn. A sword is a simple weapon, but to wield a blade well is anything but simple. For every Colosseum champion to emerge from our ranks, there have been countless disappointments who failed to achieve greatness. Bear that in mind before you answer me, Lorenzo, for I do not ask this question lightly. Have you the strength to live by the sword, and if it be your fate, die by it? Then welcome, Gladiator, to your new home. He is super strong, almost overly so. Yeah, I made him like a big... He looks like he's already done a lot of working out. He's ready for this. Let's not waste time, shall we? I would gauge your aptitude for the sword. Just outside the gates, you'll find plenty of marmots, hornets, and shrews. Boy, that sounds like a challenge for a true warrior. Slay 3 of each and return here when finished. A simple task, but essential to your training nonetheless. Now go. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, I feel like the character models in this game, like visually, this game does a lot of stuff right. And since I'll probably only ever do the quest, like the guild quest once, I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up. I'm normally gonna be saving the regular question marks for if I level another character through this area. But anything inside the guild hall, I'm just gonna pick up. Need an adventure to pick up an order. Sounds easy enough. If you come to wish me luck, I appreciate the thought, but there's no need to worry. What? You don't know who I am? The next biggest thing that's coming to the Colosseum? Zazariku is my name, and you'll be hearing all about my exploits in the coming days. Even though, I've even thought of a little title for myself. The Garnet Gladiator. This person's on the... Which reminds me, I have yet to collect the circlet I commissioned from the Goldsmiths Guild. Would you mind picking it up for me? I know I'm paraphrasing. And then this person's got a thing too. Welcome to Gladiators Guild. Okay, he's muttering to himself. Carried your ass in here looking for work, eh? Well, you're in luck. It just so happens I've a deed that needs doing. Wild ladybugs have been wreaking bloody havoc on the outskirts of town. Not ladybugs. Something in the air of late's made them ornery as the aurochs in a rut. I don't know what that means, but I'm saying it anyways. Ain't much for fighting on their own, but in numbers, they're more than a match for any merchant who's seen more days at the tea than he has on the battlefield. Why, Nolan Wolf? Some of they're like little gnome characters, some of them. And I'm also playing a character that is somewhat on the tall end of the spectrum. Like this guy over here is sort of an average height for the Final Fantasy world. I'm actually playing, like, he's the almost like the barbarian variant of the human race, so they are a lot taller. I actually made him shorter. I think I brought him down to 6 foot. But I can't remember if I did. But anyway, by default, these guys start at like 6'4" or something like that. They're big. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna kill some ladybugs now too. The Barbarian. But, let me see. Can I zoom all the way in? I know there's a button. Now I'm curious. To toggle between first person and third person. Lock camera on target. Not gonna be doing that. Zoom in, out, flip camera. Gosh. Switch to idling camera. That's like, a lot of these things, there are a lot of options here. Oh well, I'm not gonna screw with it. But yeah, we'll just say they're short. Kill those vicious, bloodthirsty ladybugs. Oh, and the last thing I was supposed to do was to go to the, my original quest. Let's not get distracted. I need to go to the market. Which is... Okay, the city is a big circle. I started over here. That's on the other side of the big circle. So if I... Okay. I think I can find my way now without consulting the map too many times. And there's multi-layers. Like, you can go upstairs and run around up there and downstairs. And... Or is that where I started? Was up... Now I'm confused. Was I up there when I came in? Anyways. It is a big, confussing city. And speaking of which, was there a little, where am I? I think I should... Okay, there was like a thing that I could have bound to. While I'm here, I should do that. Just didn't even occur to me. So that when I want to come back, I can teleport here. Because it's a big, big city. You have a little sprint thing that's got, what is it, like a minute cooldown? Be nice if you could just sort of do it as will. Like some games let you just have a general sprint as long as you're out of combat. Okay, there's the guy I need to talk to. Is there a, here we go. I now have access to Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Hey there, buddy. And you are, ho, a newly come adventurer, but of course. Yes, I am Cesaroga. What can I do for you? You would have to, let's see. You would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace. Very wise. As for my fee, what? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Uldan for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact you offer nothing is laughable. But wait, I have this thing to give you, a letter of introduction. Oh, Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to other city-states, Ulda's markets have ever served both the literal and figurative centers of Orzian commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilbrand and Eldenard pass through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ulda as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer. A deadlier sword, perhaps, or shinier trinkets. Whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north, you will find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives, and crafting materials. And to the south, you will find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content. But do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. Ahem. That is all the complimentary aid you shall receive from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi, now off with you. Okay. Handing over items. Yeah, we just learned how to do that. So, this is where they have their version of, like, the auction house, which is a little more involved than other games, but they've got it, at least. Buying is easy enough. So, now I should make... You know what I'm going to do first? Is I'm going to try to unlock, if there are any more of these little doohickeys. The Weaver's Guild, the Miners Guild... I wish I could mark waypoints on my map. So I'm gonna head down this way and make a left. I guess I'm trying to say this city is maybe not that confusing. I'm trying to remember like the first time I played World of Warcraft and went to certain cities like Stormwind. I was utterly overwhelmed. I played it so long I don't consider it confusing anymore. Let me see. But this. Oh, I just ran by one. There we go. It's good to unlock your travel points. And there was another one down here. That was the Weaver's Guild. And now I'm going to the Miners Guild. Oh, wait, no. Here, not the person, the thing. Oh, back to the gladiator. Wait, did I have something to turn in there already? Oh no, that was for me I need to pick up that piece of jewelry for that person. That's the Goldsmith's Guild. Alright, good enough. Eventually, I will fight shit. It will happen. Oh yes. I am a gladiator after all. Wait a minute. Okay, this is the right way. Here. Just a moment. Okay, I'm just gonna skip through this, because all I'm really doing is fetching jewelry for this kid. Thing. Guy. Little guy. Tuning to that. Are there any other things of those I need to find? I've done these, that, this one, this one. I think we've got all the ones that are on this map. And I think I'm close enough to the Gladiators Guild to just walk. Thank you very much. These signs are actually helpful. I need to pay attention to those. Wait a minute. Is this not? That's the Colosseum. Where was the, Oh, that is kind of far away from me. The miners? Wait, now I'm getting confused. Alright, apparently I didn't read the quest because it looks like I'm getting the old runaround. I should maybe at least scan that stuff. Just so I make sure I know what I'm doing. Because I thought I was just going back to the Gladiators Guild. Apparently, I was missing a step. No, not here. Follow this. Okay, here we go. Yep, this is how the sausage gets made. Watch G-Law figure out, like, how to play an MMO like he's never touched it before. It's good times. With me and all three of my viewers. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, now he needs garnets. Okay, so this person is demanding all sorts of fancy shiny things. Alright. Good, we got the garnets. And... oh, that was the end of the quest. Did I get anything good? Oops. No. So now I need to go back to the quicksand, and then we'll go outside. Here we go. And I think we can just go to the Aetherite Plaza. Might be the closest to the quicksand, which is the Adventurers Guild, the Tavern. Figure out which way I'm looking here. Very disorienting. It's very disorienting to teleport. Let me see. Are there other... those little... okay, there's a little blue thing over here I should unlock while I'm thinking of it. And I think that might be the last one in the city that I need to unlock. So yeah, there's one specific to the Adventurers Guild. So I'll hit that first, and then we'll go report to our Adventurer Guild lady. And then in the future, we'll be able to go straight to a teleporter right by it. I love the design of this place. It's just epic. It's bright and epic, as opposed to the place I've been playing, which is like an elven village thing. It's very beautiful, but it's not, scale-wise, it's not quite as impressive as this. Oh, I can't go in there. All right. Yeah, I love the way it looks, and it's just got a lot of character, which I like. It doesn't feel generic. How was your tour of the city, Lorenzo? Get lost, did you? Aye, well, Ul'dah's a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go exploring, explore like you got a purpose, eh? Alright then, that's, all that's left for you is to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. And I'll take that. And of course, leveling up gives you the classic Final Fantasy victory music, which tickles my soul. Alright, so we can see here that the icon is red, which means I need to be level 4 before I can take the next quest. So by the time I do the other stuff on my list, I'll probably be close to level 4 anyways. So let us run off. I'm gonna kill some stuff finally. Everyone tell all your friends Gilah's about to go to battle, I think. Is it the right, am I at the right side of the city? Let's see. The Way of the Gladiator. Where's the other one? Ladybugs? Ladybugs are in a whole other part of town. Alright, they're gonna be like that, are they? It's okay, this is right here, so we'll do this one. Did I get credit for mapping the entire town? Battle. Close this. So, this is where the marmots are. Marmots, hornets, and snapping shrews. Let me see, what do I got here in terms of abilities? Fireflight. Increases physical damage by 25%. Lasts for 25 seconds. Is recastable. Alright, so... Here, we'll do that because we're not going to be casting that all the time. There, look, I'm fighting. Here. Oh, experience points. Thank you, tutorial system. What are experience points? The Spineless Basins for low-level characters, eh? Such a rude name. Is that what this area was called? I didn't even notice. If I recall, when I played this before, I spent a considerable amount of time in this area. Because with the experience rate boost, it's not going to be as much of an issue. Ooh, look at me, leveling up. But yeah, there are a lot of like open world events that happen repeatedly. So that's what, when you're grinding in this game, that's what you end up doing, is these repeating making a series of open world, like, progress public content. A little bit like Guild Wars 2, if you've played that. That game is big on that. Or Rift to a lesser degree. It's a big murder turtle. That sounds like a really screwed up insult. Shut up, murder turtle. Your mama's a murder turtle. The marmots? Was that part of... Oh, I need snapping shrews. We already killed the marmots. Here's snapping shrews. I'm proving myself as a warrior by killing robots. Alright, I think we're done with that. Where was it? Oh, this thing. Yeah, that turtle is in fact level 12. Luckily, it is not hostile, so maybe later we'll come back and kick Turtle's ass, but right now it's a little above our pay grade. Let me see, is there a teleporty thing out here? Not unless I run all the way up there, which I don't plan on doing right now. Since we're right by town. Here we can do a little bit of sprint. And then we just gotta go slay some ladybugs outside the other gate, and then we'll be good to go. Turn in our quests. Have great success, and by then we'll be hopefully level 5, so we'll be ready for our next Adventurers Guild main story quest. So Nick, have you still been playing World of Warcraft recently? I play on the weekends with my wife, but I sort of stopped playing it on my own time. I think I subbed to another game, another MMO, so I feel like I'm drifting away. Except when I play the new content with my wife. But even then, I'm not excited about it like I was a couple months ago when I first subbed up. And this is a game that scratches another nostalgia itch, but that's because I've been playing Final Fantasy games since I think the first one I played in 1988. Not as much. You haven't been sitting upright as much. As it turns out, you got an infection. Holy crap. Is that why you've been sleeping more too? I kept saying how, oh, it's so healthy, it's good for you. And this whole time, it's like, you might just be barely clinging onto life. So when you say you haven't been sitting up, does that mean you've been, like, resting and trying to get over your infection? Anyway, I'm sorry to hear that. Take that, ladybug. F you. I hate you, ladybugs. Where's the other one? I see you, little ladybug. Your ass is mine. I feel like such an asshole. Ladybug's like, what I do? Alright, and that is all she wrote. Is there another thingy here I should... one of those crystals? There's public events that pop up. Yeah, the crystal's like at the next town. I'm gonna skip that. I just want to make sure there wasn't like a crystal just hanging out right outside the gates. They just happen to line up, you suppose. You went to the doctor yesterday, and now you have antibiotics. Oh, okay. So by lately, you mean like in the last few days, not like this month. Well, that sucks, man. Although, Hopefully antibiotics will knock it out. If that's what's needed. What's this? Yes. The way back to the Gladiators Guild. Come on. After I just finished telling everybody how quick the loading scenes are. The loading screens. Here we go. It's Milla. Welcome back, Lorenzo. I take it you've dispatched the beasts and with ease. Rest assured, there will be far greater challenges to come. If you wish to master the sword, you must test yourself against a wide variety of foes. To this end, I present you with this hunting log. It contains information on creatures ideal for a gladiator in training. You will doubtless gain valuable experience should you seek out and slay them. It is only with such practice you will recognize and eliminate the deficiencies in your technique. Your training under me shall continue once the haft sits so snugly in your hand that you cannot imagine holding anything else. Until then, Lorenzo. Okay. So... oh, combos. This is... I've been playing a caster, so this is actually something I need to reacquaint myself with. 3 weeks! Ain was minors, hoping lying back and relaxing would let the issue, you know, I thought you might have done something. Oh, man. Okay, so you physically... what do you mean an infection? You don't mean, like, scrap throat. You mean, like a bodily, like a part of your body. That still sucks, man. Chain weapon skills to deal additional damage or inflict additional enfeeblements. This is known as a combo. Combo is not available to... okay. If a weapon skill can be chained with another, it will be indicated in the weapon skill's help text under combo action. Combo action with fast blade. Let's see, combo action. In the case of Vorpal Thrust to the left, if executed immediately after True Thrust, the potency will double that of the normal one. Okay. Combo action. So does that mean if I do this after I do that? Alright, I'm just gonna move that next to it in case. In some way they're gonna go together. This sensitive area is actually fairly key to sitting upright. It turns... ooh. Shit, man. I will ask no more about that. But that sounds extra suck. I'm gonna assume you're talking about it's on your ass. Maybe leave it at that, on a cheek. We have a inflamed butt cheek. That person. Alright. That person is doing something, I don't know what it is. It's got a Mickey Mouse hand pointing at him. Some weapon skills must be delivered from a specific direction to maximize their damage. In these cases, maximum damage must be dealt with the action to successfully initiate a combo, so positional when executed from the target's flank. Okay, that's an example of that. I don't have that yet. When a weapon skill can be chained into a combo, its hotbar icon will be outlined with a flashing yellow border. The border will fade. If the weapon skill is not used within a certain amount of time, learn which weapon skills can chain together to maximize your battle efficiency. Alright, fair enough. Using items. Got it. Hunting log. Got it. Let me see what's on the hunting log. This just gives you another layer of stuff to do. Which, it's class specific, so I might as well do all that when it happens. And it's like, not a lot. Like when I see ladybugs again, there'll be an extra little icon over them. And if I kill 3, I'll get credit for that. When I see marmots again, when I kill 3, I get credit for that. And so on. Cactuar, snapping shrews. And there will be special icons over stuff in the world to alert me to the fact that they are special targets for me. So, that's just kind of cool. There's all sorts of little ways of gaining stuff. I'm just checking to see. I need to be level 5 to do the next gladiator specific quest. Oh, and I gotta turn the quest into this person. Back in one piece. It's about bloody time. I think this is the person I killed the ladybugs for. I admit you look as though you just picked up a sword yesterday, but you handle yourself well enough, I'll give you that. And here, I give you this as well. It ain't worth a night in Olda's finest pillow house. Wait, are you talking about a whorehouse? Or an inn. Anyways. I'm sure you'll find a use for it. And... Okay, Disciples of War. Comparing is a little bit more hands-on than in certain other games. I like in WoW where you just point at something and it automatically shows you. Alright. And then it just gives you the basic, like, defense stuff. Like the little intelligence, strength, all that stuff, it doesn't tell you. So, I'll take that. I like the first, as you start replacing the stuff that you wear, it initially ends up looking kind of lame. Oh, I'm too low level to put this on. That's okay, I'll be level 5 soon enough. And at the moment, I have no quests. So I'm going to run... Is the crystal here or upstairs? No, it's right here. I'm gonna go back to the Adventurers Guild. I'm high enough level to take the next quest in the main storyline. So we'll do that. And then hopefully, in short order, be out in the wilderness, epically fighting ladybugs and other rodents, insects and rodents. Okay. You see, to a certain someone in the... Okay, let's see. Well, youngman, how are you finding our fine Ul'dah, then? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond the city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalan, that's another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and he you. Name of Papashan. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah Dispatch Yard. No doubt, he'll have some work for you. Dispatch Yard's over in central Thanalan. Just head out the door. Across the hall, and you'll see the Gate of Nald staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it for long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though, more than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack you if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared to warn you. Okay. Was it this? At some point I should start getting ready to go out for the evening. Time is not now, however. You're gonna go out and have a social occasion outdoors? Or you have like your role playing stuff going on tonight? Is that what you mean? Friday night game night. Okay, so the infection has not prevented you from doing your games. Let me see. Where was this? Speak with... Oh, out that gate. Alright. I just wasted my time. I thought it meant going to another part of the city. Friday night game night. Yeah, I'm probably... This is not going to be a full stream. I just thought I'd stream while I could. My wife will be getting home probably like a little bit after 4. And I'm preemptively thinking we're going to have Taco Bell tonight. And to accommodate that, I want to be ready to... Because I've been grubbing it today so far. I still want to take a shower and stuff before I actually leave my apartment. That's one of the things about living at home. It's like... I'll shower later in the day. Like, I'll just sort of roll out of bed and have coffee, and then... Like, I'll shower before if I need to go somewhere, if I'm gonna go... You know, even just, like, check the mail or something like that. I'll just make sure, before I'm seen, that I've cleaned myself up a little bit. But so far, I haven't been. So I haven't had my little shower today yet. Living at home and working at home. I think that's what I meant to say. There we do that. I live and work at home. Okay, that works. Get down, Marmot! Take that! I hate you, Marmot! Screw you! The gladiators, on the behalf of the Gladiators Guild, I slay thee! This guy's actually killing a lot faster than my than my Conjurer was. Conjurer is like the main healing magic user. That's what I've been playing as my other class kind of main character thing. Yeah, working at home, Nick. You got it. So, I guess that the idea is that I would like to be able to coordinate a run to Taco Bell so that I could conceivably take her order what she wants, but usually is sort of the same, similar stuff because she's vegan, so the menu's not that advanced. You know what? Here, I'm just gonna put this down here so I don't have to use combo keys. So I can coordinate returning with the Taco Bell roughly with her arrival at home to make it an extra special treat. Alright. Eat that, snapping shrew! Oh, okay, this is the last snapping shrew I need to kill. And there's Papa Sean! Running to Taco Bell, considering Taco Bell gives you McDonald's. Oh! I can accept my next class quest now. Alright, so we'll do that after this, but, I don't have problems with Taco Bell. Give me potty issues. Which is good because I like Taco Bell a lot. And Taco Bell, you know, I'm on foot, so Taco Bell is about, I don't know, maybe a mile almost away, so it's a good workout. Oh, most of my exercise that I get is in pursuit of something to eat that's probably not as good for me, but... You certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi advised me to expect? I am Papa Sean, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell, passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12 no. Is that the gods? 12? 12 no. There have been plenty of both these last 5 years since Calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now the true Uldans work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we have rebuilt Ulda to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. Railways which run through the dispatch yard, too, were born of noble efforts of a great many souls. But there is still much work to be done, and the wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Ulda needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Hey, that guy, just stopping by for a quick hello. Appreciate it. I'm playing Final Fantasy. It's very narrative heavy. It's actually, doing this much reading is actually wearing me out a little bit. It's kind of working out that maybe I'm not doing a 4-hour stream on this. Well, especially because when you start the game, they throw so much exposition at you to get you to kind of understand what's happening. So I've been spending a lot of the last 2 hours reading dialogue. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited to one of your ability. Alright, hit me up with it. I've leveled up again! See, that's why I don't do any of the side quests. I just gained a skill. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. Simple task for me. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. It just so happens a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area. A dispatch to the dispatch yard, as it were. They have long been away from the shade and feather beds of the city. The hot days and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out here. It isn't much, but go and give them these twilight pretzels, would you? Twilight pretzels? That sounds like a weird snack. I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. That's cheerful. Like nothing... You cheer yourself up when you feel suicidal by eating some delicious twilight pretzels. That guy. Sounds very fun. Wish I could stay. Hey, well, I appreciate, even though you can't stay, it's nice of you to stop by and say hello. That guy, I do appreciate that. And have a good Friday and a good weekend. I gotta deliver twilight pretzels to the patrols. Okay. And there is one appears to be right up there. A Twilight pretzel is just a pretzel with glitter on it. Oh, that sounds much more positive than what I was thinking. I was thinking it's like, here, it's a pretzel with a depressing message written on it. Enjoy. It's a message about our mortality and inevitable death. Here you go. Enjoy your Twilight pretzel. Halt, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to put the pretzel on the ground and place your hands above your head. What the hell? He's a serious Sultan Sword. Here, just have the pretzel. State your name and business. A Twilight pretzel from Papa Sean? By the gods, forgive me. You could say this new post has my nerves a bit in a twist. I am terribly sorry for that. Yes, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe so long as I stand watch. Yeah, enjoy your Twilight pretzel. Please give Papa Sean my thanks and tell him that I only wish I could repay the favor. All right, there you go. Keep up the good work. Sorry, I think I almost got booked for coming at him too aggressively with a pretzel. Have fun and don't get killed. Well, so far so good, man. All right, we're gonna go after this guy. So we're gonna walk to the dispatch yard and then make a left. Is that how I'm reading this? Oh, there's right over here. Hey, it's Jetfire the Wise. Lurk mode deactivated. Hey, how you doing, Jetfire? It's my first channel debut of Final Fantasy XIV. As I play... Where's the thing? Do I bring this up? It's Lorenzo Hawk. Oh, Hawk. Lorenzo. Alright, I'm delivering glitter pretzels. No, they're Twilight pretzels. Stern Sultan Sword. See, if you're still streaming an hour from now, I will be back. I probably won't be because my wife will be getting home around a little after 4, and I'm going to be getting ready to go out and get us some food before she does. So I'm probably only stream for another, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes or so. I'll aim for about 3:15. Between 3:15 and 3:30 my time, I'm going to stop. It's about 2:30 right now. Yes, and you've done such a great job at this. Thank you, Jetfire. I like reading the voices to an extent, but it does wear me out a little bit. Western front clear. Eastern front clear. Oh, he's a little more easygoing than the other guy was. Have your delicious Twilight pretzel. For me? From Papa Sean? A Twilight pretzel, my favorite. How did he know? Can't fight on an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't fight on any stomach. I suppose you could say I have no stomach for fighting. What kind of guard is this? It's a guard that doesn't like fighting? Well, good luck with that. Just look stern. I guess that's all he does, just look stern. And one more guard and one more pretzel for that guard. We're still in that point of the game where you're doing very important questing. This is very important to the security of Ul'dah, the Grand City. It all starts with pretzels. Let's see, where is he? Oh, here he is. I hope it's a big pretzel, otherwise this quest is even sadder. A single pretzel that fits within the palm of your hand? No, I'm imagining it's gotta be like the soft pretzels that you get, the big ones. Maybe, well, they didn't specify that I was bringing cheese sauce, but maybe we can pretend. I'm bringing some depressing cheese sauce for the Twilight pretzel. Some night sauce. 12 save me. Scorching days, freezing nights. This post will be the end of me. Yeah, don't worry. Have heart. Let me see, what's the description? Actually, I want to read the description now. A traditional Dunesfolk bread twisted into the shape of a knot and sprinkled generously with a coarse ground salt before being baked to a perfect brown resembling Twilight over Thanalan. Okay, well, the Twilight starts to sound a little less depressing. There we go. That actually sounds quite delicious. Here you go. A Twilight pretzel. Don't mind if I do. Ah, now there's a refreshing God's damned pretzel. I feel reborn. That's... I'm actually enjoying the writing in this game. It's kind of funny. God's damn. That's a great God's damn pretzel. 'Cause they don't say regular goddamn. They say God's damn. Because there's 12 of them. I think I'm picking up. Oh, here we go. Hey, Papa Sean, I delivered your pretzels. Here, I'll stand down here so you don't feel as little. Hey, buddy. You've returned. And with a deal fewer pretzels, I see. Tell me, how fare our Sultan Sword sentries? Did they have anything to report? Anything at all? What? Nothing? Are you sure? Oh dear. Take this for your troubles, then. And stay a moment. There is more I would ask of you. Aw, shit. That denies a pretzel. Lorenzo, I have just this moment. No, for the time. Oh, the time for concealment is past. The truth is, even before I had you deliver those pretzels, I was privy to some unsettling news. Which is the real reason I sent you to meet those sultans. The Sultan Sworn. Oh, what is this? Is one of them crooked? Maybe that one that has no stomach for combat needs to get replaced. A young noble woman from a very prestigious family has run away from home, and I have been ordered to see her safe return. The Sultan Sworn you met earlier are assisting with the search. Alas, it seems they have found no trace of her. I apologize for not being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her disappearance spread, I fear others with less honorable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. That cannot happen, Lorenzo. It must not. You need to help me find her. Yay. Praise the 12. I knew I could count on you. I've instructed the others to expand the search, but Thanolin is a vast, and there are only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lilira. I want you to go south and look for her in the vicinity of the Sultan Tree. Good luck. Quest accepted. I'm more crooked than a pretzel. Or chaos. Gopher of justice. Go for this, go do that. I see what you did there, man. That guy looks right puntable. 4! Bam! Let's see where we're going. I think I actually... Oh, here? You know, I would actually like to... I can leave town that way. I'm gonna run back to town. I'm gonna go to my guild and pick up my next quest, because it's a 5th level quest. I'm already level 6. So, and just in case that quest isn't anywhere near the quest I'm already doing. In fact, there was a gate right here, wasn't there? No. This is the easier one to get to. The quest, I can come out that other gate, though, if I want to. So we'll go with my Gladiators Guild. Actually, now that I think about it, I made my guy kind of looks like Russell Crowe from The Gladiator. At my signal, unleash hell! That's before he became the Gladiator. That's when he was still general. Alright. Never mind, I'm back. What did I miss? What was up with the pretzel? The pretzels, turns out, were delicious. Apparently. I read the description, it turned we were worried that the pretzel might just have been like when you get a little bag of rolled golds and each one's the size of a silver dollar. It wasn't quite that bad. Okay, we're gonna use the internal transit system to go back to the Gladiators Guild. Yep, this is gonna work out just right. So in about an hour or so, or less than an hour, I'm starting to get hungry. All this talk of pretzels, and I'm gonna go get. I'm assuming, I'm feeling, especially since I saw Brian Chimichanga earlier, it will be. Wait, is this the right place? I get lost in here. Gladiators Guild. Where am I? Okay. It's a little bit I'm still learning my way around here a little bit. I feel like I'm screwing up. No, that's not it. I feel like I'm really going the wrong way. Wait, are there more of those things up here? Holy crap, there's 2 more of these things up here that I didn't know about. Alright, well, I want to unlock those too. Because once you've unlocked all the port points in the city, it completes a little thing, and then like, there's certain other places become unlocked. What does it take to become a lawyer? In most jurisdictions, now it is set by state, but they also tend to follow the American Bar Association rules, which is national. Wait, is this? Let me make sure I actually have a penchant for getting lost in this game so far. I'm not paying attention where I'm going. So what is required is you need an undergraduate degree in anything. It doesn't have to be in anything in particular. And then to go to law school, you need to take the LSAT. This is normal. I think there are different ways to waive it. Like if you have practiced law in one state for a number of years, you can waive parts of... You might be able to waive the LSAT to go to a news... Wait, I can't remember. But this is the standard way of doing it. You have to take the LSAT, which is a 1-day test. It's a few hours. And based on your score and your GPA, that will determine what schools you will have access to. Law school itself is 3 years long under normal circumstances, unless you do like a day program and you're working and stuff. There, now I've got all of them. Okay. And then after you get out of law school, you're eligible to take the bar exam, which is a terrible, long, multi-day examination that is the hardest test I've ever taken in my life. Let's get back. I did get lost looking for the Gladiators Guild. And then, if you're lucky enough and skillful enough to do well on the test, then you have to make sure you pass an ethics check, background, and you have to take, actually there's an additional ethics test you have to take. And then, once that's all squared away, you pay out some, you give them some money, and then become a lawyer. So that's how it happens. So overall, it takes 7 years of schooling, and the examination period is another few months after that as well, to get the exam and get the results. So it's almost another year of taking the exam and waiting for the results back. And if you pass, then you can become a lawyer. Let me see. Hey, Mr. Man, what's up, man? There it is. And in the end, as darkness takes me, I am nothing. These days, you can take the GRE for some schools. For law school, really? You don't have to take the LSAT? I was not aware of that. I thought the LSAT was a standard American Bar Association requirement for an ABA-approved school. But I haven't looked into applying to law schools since I think the last time I put in a law school application was in 2004, so things could indeed be different now. You hate the bar like poison. Yeah, I took the bar more than one time. Let's just say that, and I didn't like it any time that I took it. I had to do the 3-day version, which was awful. I did the 3-day version. Third time was a charm. We'll just say it like that. It's very expensive, Nick. In fact, I probably, even if I live to a ripe old age of 95, I will probably still not have paid off all my loans, given my present inability to get... Anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but I owe at this point my estimated, what I still owe, because I've been doing lots of deferments, and because I took out loans, private loans to begin with, because there were no, when I went to law school, there were no federal graduate loans for law school at that point. And then after the first year, those became available. But because the first year I paid a private loan, they don't let you work any special payment programs. So they've been basically, all the money that I could afford to pay for loans has been going to the private loan, because they don't work and play well with the rest of my loans. Meanwhile, I have to keep deferring my other loans. At a certain point, if I make more money, I will be able to qualify for a repayment program, an affordable repayment program. But right now, the amount, like, they think they want 15% of your income in these affordable repayment programs. And because I'm already putting so much into this private loan, which they don't care how much you can afford, I've had to keep putting my other federal loans into deferment, which sucks. So at this point, I think last time I checked, they said after interest, I'm estimated to owe somewhere like $400,000. So that's fun. What is my favorite game that I played? That is a very difficult question because I have a lot of favorites. Skyrim is a favorite. World of Warcraft is a favorite. Those are the two that jump in my mind first and foremost. Final Fantasy historically has been one of my favorite series of all time. He also had a standard, but some others now take GRE. All right. You hung your own shingle, right? Sort of. I mean, I'm self-employed, but what I've ended up doing is sort of like I work for one company that does record review, and I've hooked up with them. It's a small like business that does that, and I've been working for them for 5 years. I started off part-time, and now it's evolved for usually full-time. Sounds like having a kid, a decision you make to pay for the rest of your life. I think having a kid is cheaper, honestly. So the baseline for having a kid is well, I guess after 18 years, I don't know. I thought it was something like 100 grand or 150,000 or something. Is if you're not counting like the kid, you're not buying them Lamborghinis and shit. All right, let's do this. Ah, Lorenzo, I take it you and your sword have become better acquainted. Then I will now instruct you on another fundamental aspect of what it means to be a gladiator, commanding an opponent's attention. As gladiators, we are trained to engage enemies at close range, weathering their attacks as we deliver our own. However, there are times when we must do battle alongside allies whose talents are not the same as our own. In such a situation, your role is not to slay the enemy in front of you, but rather to defend the man beside you. We do this by eliciting the enmity of our opponents through attacks and techniques designed to incite their hatred. So they're talking about, at this point, tanking. You must learn to draw the enemy's attention to yourself and to trust in your stout constitution to endure. In doing so, you protect your weaker comrades who would otherwise perish. To help you better understand this, there's a task I would have you perform. It just so happens that Momodi of the Quicksand has requested our assistance. A gang of Lamincian marauders has paraded into town and begun harassing people outside her establishment. Men like these prey on the weak, but will turn tail and flee at the first sign of defiance. You need not resort to violence. It will suffice to show them that you are not afraid of them and will not tolerate their behavior. Seek out the Lamincians that make your presence known by bellowing, "Face me, marauder!" In this way, you will protect the people of Ul'dah as you would allies in battle. So I have to shout that at them. Oh, I have a sip of water. I just realized I've been talking a lot and real fast. I almost got winded just there. This game is super dialogue heavy, so when I'm trying to, like, when I start getting off on a tangent, like I do if you bring up law school, like, requirements and loans and shit, then I get a little bit excited and then I wear myself out. Let's see, are there any names you instantly recognize in the chat of your live stream? All of you guys are recognized. Is that what you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by instantly recognized in the chat of my live streams. But I don't tend to have tons and tons of people, so people that come more than once, I tend to remember them. As long as it's not like they come once and then a year later they come again, then I probably won't remember them. But everyone in here I know, including you, that guy. I'm a stranger to G-Law. First year medical students might make around minimum wage while paying off their loans too. Cost of private education institutions is quite high. Yeah, it's only getting worse, I think. So, a little sip of water there. All right, so I need to go to the Adventurers Guild and shout /me at them. Okay. Where was that? The thingamerhickey is up here? Okay. You ate student loans? I'm assuming you mean you hate them. And yes, Princess Unicorn, I actually am still paying off my undergraduate student loans because they got lumped in with my law school loans. So technically, I'm still paying, and I don't owe nearly as much. I think my undergraduate loans at this point, before they got lumped in with everything else, I owed about 10 grand on them, down from I think 30 or 40 originally. But that's still, I'm still paying for student loans that I accrued in 1995. So let that sink in for a second. For some people, that's a lot older than they are. I have debts older than you, Princess Unicorn. Probably. Or maybe. We were going to go to the Adventurers Guild. And hello, Princess Unicorn. Welcome. I'm probably only going to be playing for another half hour or so, because it's Friday. My wife's going to be coming home in about 90 minutes or so, and I want to be, let me just make sure she hasn't texted me yet. I don't think she's out of work yet. But I want to coordinate having food ready for her when she arrives home. After her long days, being a lawyer isn't easy. Well, I mean, depends on, that's a loaded question a little bit, but the general answer is no, it's not. And for many different reasons. That's why it has one of the highest alcohol and suicide rates of any profession. Well, at least alcohol, substance abuse rate. I'm not sure suicide. I know it's up there, though. Do you plan what games you play in advance, or you just decide randomly? Kind of randomly, that guy. I get into modes. Like, even last night, I wasn't sure, because I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV lately, and I was thinking maybe I should stream it, but then also, this week, Subnautica just came out in full release. It's been out, I mean, in early access for a long time. So last night, for my regular stream, I was like, hey, either I want to play Final Fantasy, because that's what I've been playing, or I want to play Subnautica. And in that case, and as I do this sometimes, if there are a couple I'm trying to decide between, I put up a Twitter poll about 3 hours before my stream, so people that follow me on Twitter could vote. And they voted decidedly in the direction of Subnautica. So that's what I streamed last night. But today I was just playing this morning. I finished my work yesterday, didn't have to do work today. I was playing this, and it was more random that I decided to stream than it is that I chose to play this game. Because this was a game I was playing anyways this morning. This don't concern you, so bugger off. Alright, I'm gonna target him, and I'm gonna type /me. Yeah. I know your friend here is a 12 damn cheat. That means goddamn. 12 damn cheat, because 12 gods. Alright. Thinks he can charge us more because we're foreigners. But he'll get his own back, mark me words. It's hard to read that guy. I did make him leave, though. Oh, I've got to tell a few of them to get the F out. Okay. Did I eat the soup? I'm not sure I know the context of that statement. Alright, let's hit a little /me. It's unavailable at this time. Okay, because I was still in dialogue with him. /me. You motioned yourself. Oh, come on now. He was disrespecting me. Proud sea wolf heritage. Fine, I'll leave the bastard be, but we ain't finished. Alright, get out of here. A-hole. Let's see. Buying on credit is so nice. One look at us, and they charge twice. Alright. I told you before, don't eat the soup. Maybe I don't... To eat the soup. See, this is where I remember you, but I don't remember... Was this like something you told me last week or something? If you were telling me stuff last week like, my favorite color is blue, my favorite food is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I may or may not remember details, including elements of conversation that have happened before. Although, if you become like an old-timer like Nick, I remember all sorts of conversations that we've had before. So, where is it? I know they gotta find another guy in here. Oh, there's another guy I need to scare off. It's a joke I will never explain. Well, especially if it's a joke I don't understand. I might not remember it from one stream to the next, but eventually I might. I still might not understand it. I'll be like, oh, it's that guy. It's that guy who talks about the soup. I'm curious to ask my cousin if she's paying loans as well. She's going in for nursing, even though there's still a lot of work to do. Yeah, most people that go into education programs end up spending, doing it through loans, but not everyone. Most, however. It's very common at this point. /ME, hold on. What the hell's your problem? Maybe she likes Sir Manruff. What are you supposed to be, a bleeding manservant? Bah, it don't matter. You got and spoiled the mood. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I dispel the rapiness that was about to happen? So sorry I interfered. Alright. My favorite color is blue. I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Yeah, that's right. TMI! Oh no, Princess Unicorn, I'm sorry I got too personal. I like black. I don't have a single favorite food. Yeah, Nick's got Nick's got his own way, including his favorite color is the absence of color. And he doesn't have a favorite food, which is the equivalent of the food version of black. And I don't even know what that means. Daibo, I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing, is that like Korean barbecue or something? Mr. Red? Bugger off, can't you see I'm having a civilized conversation with this proxy whore son? I think that conversation's about to end. If you have something to say, you should say it to /me. Yeah, I like them apples. What? You blaming me cause this little shite sat down? This little shite shat his own pants? Well, bugger him, and bugger you too. That's right. You screw your butt. Screw right up your butt, sir. Black is every color. I thought that was white was every color. White is the absence of color. Unless it's white light, which is also every color. I did not realize that. I thought white was... Well, I thought light... I thought color, we experienced it as light. So... that inherently there is no... Anyways, that's getting into deep meta color shit. Alright. I think we've transitioned to the Grand City daytime music. Turn this in. Me poxy arse, this'll be the best brew. I'd sooner drink a pint of me own piss than this will. Oh, I guess this is like the boss guy? Alright. So, maybe we should,
45 seconds of gameplay.
Me. Just who the hell do you think you're speaking to, maggot? I'm Farmer. The Driven. And me bloody marauders have been reaving so long, mothers scared their children with tales about us. Don't believe me words? I'll let me axe do the talking. Alright, screw you, sir. Screw you, sir. I will beat you. Oh ho, this is lively even for the quicksand. You two gonna put on a show for us? Oh, it's that guy. Okay. Or is it? No, I don't know who that is. I don't think. Is that the guy I met when I first came into the city? What's this? Another goddamn fool? Show some respect when you talk to... Farmo the Driven, leader of the troop of bloody mummers or some such. I've heard. I heard you the first time. Your voice carries quite well. Then unless you want me to split your skull with me axe, you better... Oh, now he's like, what kind of sword is that? That looks like that would hurt my balls hard. That sword, it couldn't be. Frenzy? But only the sword of Nald would... Bloody hells, it's you! Who was that? You know, I've never been one to stand back and watch. Mind if I join the fun? Begging your pardon, sir. I guess that took care of that. Luckily, there was a famous person, badass in here, to help out. Why do they always do that? Looks like it's just you and me. Standing up to that Lomensen was quite brave of you, quite foolish. I think I like you, Gladiator. Name's Aldous. I'll buy you a drink, but I'm afraid I just spent my last coin. I used to be a young gladiator like you. Back then but that hardly concerns you. These days I'm just an explorer of the unexplored, a seeker of as yet unknown experiences. Like the beautiful stranger keeping my bed warm right now. Gods, I've missed this city, this wonderful desert jewel of debauchery and sin. Now if you'll excuse me... Yeah, sounds like he's about to get his balls tended to by some lady folk. Or, you know, whatever he's into. Color is the light from the object that is reflected back from the light. White rod absorbs no color. And reflects it all back. A black absorbs all the color. Reflects no color back. So how is black... Oh, it absorbs all of it. I see what you're saying. That's how I remember it. Okay. I remember reading something like that in art class. Yeah. I guess I didn't think about the object itself. But... I know that the black absorbs all the color, but then that didn't make me feel like, oh, it is all the color then. It just made it, because it doesn't reflect anything back, it has the property of, to our eyes, being without color. That defines the color that it is. But that's sort of like a perspective thing. I never heard that before. What we see is black, but what the black item actually is all the colors, because it's trapped it. It's trapped all the colors. Anyways, alright, let's talk to this lady. I swear if I hadn't seen all this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Listen, Lorenzo, do me a favor and don't tell Milla about meeting Aldous, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Why? Let's just say some folks ain't good for one another. Oh, my guild mistress has a thing for that dude? I guess he was an old famous gladiator. He's probably gonna be known by other gladiators. So let's go back to the Gladiator Guild and tell them we took care of the ruffians, and we'll leave it at that. And hopefully this time I'll remember how to get into the Gladiators Guild from the crystal. I got a little confused last time. The line he said seemed suspicious. In fact, I believe it actually had me pointing the right direction. I just confused myself last time I teleported here. Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy. The fantasy that is not final enough. Yep, it's always the last one, isn't it? Taking a bunch of colors, paint, and mix them together, you'll be closer to black and white, probably. Lucky brown. Okay, so yeah, in that sense, I'd always turn brown when I screwed around with that stuff. I remember mixing all the colors together. Let's see, I've heard your exploits at the quicksand, Lorenzo. You did well to send those marauders packing. I wish I could say we've heard the last of them. Alas, we've received reports of axe-wielding raiders assaulting merchants traveling to the Scorpion Crossing. It seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Lorenzo. Head to Western Thandolin and see that Framar the Driven and all those who have shared in his crimes never trouble the people of Ul'dah again. Alright. So wait, where's that at? Oh. Alright, so now I got quests on both sides of the city, but... and there's no quick place for me to... Oh wait, if I teleport to, the Thongmerchers Guild. Whatever, the Thongmers? How do you say that word? That should get me near the gate that I need to exit to take care of that quest. I'm learning my way around this big old confusing town. I'm starting to get like serious munchiness happening too. I'm gonna be ready for that $5 Taco Bell box. Thaumaturge. Is that how you say it? Thaumaturge? There's a lot of words that I read but never have had occasion to say out loud, including that one. Have you played Elder Scrolls Online, and if so, what do you think? I have played Elder Scrolls Online. That's another game that on my list of games that I would like to really dive into someday, but have not, as of yet, really dove into. I'm not a huge fan of the leveling system in that game. I mean, it's flexible. I don't know. But it's a little... I've, for some reason, had a little hard time wrapping my head around it. Let's put this on. Oh, wait, what do I have new abilities here? Increases and... Okay, so this is like a tanking thing. Keep that off there, because I don't need that right now. And these guys are part of my class guild log. Those little requirements. Come here, little ladybug. On the name of the gladiators guild, I smite thee. You are an enemy of gladiators everywhere, and you shall pay. You shall pay. Thaumaturge. I'll file that away in the place where I put things where I maybe will remember and maybe not, because that's how I roll. Thaumaturge. Alright. I think that's all the ladybug killing I need to do right now. My bird's getting all chatty. Hey, look! I think I need to kill these guys too. Oh, I didn't mean to kill the ladybug. Now that we're into it. These cactus dudes are ready to kill. Bah! Alright, I've killed all the cactars that I need to kill. Now we can proceed to my quest for my guild lady. Is it for my guild lady? Yeah, it's still for my guild lady. So what's this over here? Oh, there's a level 5 public thing going on over here. You know what? I'm gonna run and do that because those are timed. It's got 10 minutes and someone's already working on it. 16% done. So I will join in the mess. I know, it's called a fate. Here we go. I don't need to read all that. I know how it works. You get rewarded based on how much you help make it happen. It's just killing certain things. Uh-oh. That's where you don't want to stand. And of course I ran right into it. There you go. Eat that. Alright, get out of there. High quality items, thank you. I will be looking. I don't care about that. Okay, get out of there. Yeah, it's the high quality items tutorial effed my ass. I was trying to get it out of there. And I've leveled up. This thing is still... We're getting close. Fate rewards. Experience and guild. Okay. Now that we're out of the timed event zone... Here, I'll do a little share. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, now we go back. Not going to eat those cactus monsters. Cactus cooler. Perfect waste of good plant matter. On the top of the Elder Scrolls, what is your favorite setup for Skyrim? My favorite is Argonian, unarmed, heavy armor. I do it sort of different every time. I think what I've done the most common... I'm not that big a thing of race, but, what the hell, the human magic type dudes? Magic-y-ish guys? I forget what they're called. But I'll do them and I'll sort of do an all thing. Usually, I do the magic thing just so I have magicka if I need it, but I tend to gravitate towards melee, shield, stealth, archer characters. But I don't have a single build that is like, that's the build that I do. But that's the build that I gravitate towards. They tore me from my saddle and took everything I own. Bring my goods back to me, I beg of you. Interacting. So I need to give him his shit. Smoothly lands down on the planet. It's Madman from space. Goes down smooth every time. You know you love it. Welcome, Madman from space. Mr. Ren! I hate bar exams. I like drafting. Was that like draft beer from bar? Okay. Thank you for the donation, sir. At generous $5 donation. It was very much appreciated. Hashtag Mistry. And I do hate bar exams as well. Hey! Hey, buddy. Alright, I'm killing these marauder guys, huh? Almost forgot what I was doing out here. Drafting complex documents. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. It all worked out for you in the end. I've done a little bit of contract drafting, but I wouldn't call them complex. Maybe a layman would consider them complex. Oh, look. I have these guys on my little draft list. Yeah. But that's one of the things that I've done outside of my outside of the work is helping people draft contracts. But again, because I only work for myself, I have to be very careful because I do not have practical expertise in anything. So it's made me hesitant to try and jump into that. But generally, I've had people that have had specific situations that they wanted to contract, like entertainment law type stuff for the most part, like talent agent type things. And for the most part, in those situations, I've been able to find what were essentially boilerplate contracts for those particular circumstances, and then alter them to fit any particular needs of the parties involved in that transaction. But I wouldn't call them overly complex. Boilerplate shit. I just had to make sure that I understand what it's about. Entertainment is not my area of practice, but in particular, but it's just the fact of the matter is where I live and the people that I know. Entertainment-related contracts have been the ones that I've ended up doing for a few different clients. It actually is almost always has been, in terms of drafting, it has always been, because you end up having people that, in entertainment, you kind of work for yourself. So I'll have people that are not part of, they're not big or well represented, and they'll get in situations where they need a contract for one thing or another, and they want someone who at least is familiar with contract law to be able to put it together. But I never made a rule that entertainment was like, oh, that's my thing. I'm just so happy with that. When the circumstances come up, that's what it's about. Your favorite loadout for Skyrim was heavy armor, one-handed magic, with spells in the right hand. It wasn't optimal at all, but it was fun. Yeah, that's the thing. It definitely is not optimal. Because then you've got to split your points between health and mana. Where it's like I prefer, if I'm going to go the caster route, to dump it all into mana, and if I'm going to go the melee route, to focus on health and to some extent stamina. But there's definitely ways you can specialize, and you can synergize different spell schools with melee for sure. You play Skyrim again, recommend going in punching. There's a perk that adds armor rating for heavy armor gauntlets to your unarmed damage. I tend to go light armor because overall the perks are better, and then in the end you end up, light armor ends up being as effective as heavy armor. But there are definitely, I suppose, some perks. You talked about unarmed combat though. I've heard that never works out in the end. If you're talking about punching with your fists, I heard that never works out in the end compared to what you can accomplish with actual weapons. See, they tore me from my saddle and took everything I owned. Bring my goods back to me, I beg. Okay, I already did that. Here you go. Here you go, buddy. 12, bless you, adventurer. If it weren't good for men like... If it weren't for good men like you, I never would leave home. Okay. Let's see, it's getting hard to hear you over the game. Oh, because of the combat. Oh, shit. In general, has been pretty good, except for the combat sections. It was still the most fun, though, because you drew your weapon instantly since you know it's smelling right hand. Ideal for enchanters like me to end up with a bunch of different enchanted weapons so far. Different situations. Yes, because of the combat. Alright. Alright. See you later, then. Alright, man. That guy. A good one. Wait, what is this? This is not a guild quest, but it is a special quest, so I'm going to take a look at it. I am despairing at the sheer amount of good meat and plant matter that's being wasted in this game. That's true. So wait, but now I'm thinking about the volume issue. Volume is still too high. It's probably the music in particular. Sound. I already have the music down a little bit, but I'm gonna bring the music down to 50%, and we're gonna see if I can make that adjustment without adjusting my overall game volume setting on OBS. The weapons sounds are loud too. Okay. Well, maybe I do need to bring down. Here, we'll try that. It can be a delicate, because I'm guessing it's close. So, but thank you for bringing that up, though. Why not turn down the master volume in the game? Well, I was assuming originally that it was the music that was overwhelming, because they tend to be pretty aggressive with the music in this game, and normally that's not a problem if you're just playing on your own and you're not trying to balance voice commentary while you play. Because the music is a huge emphasis of the Final Fantasy games in general, in my opinion. It's one of their biggest selling points. But it does mean that the music might get a little bit loud, and it might become disproportionately loud at times, by design. Because they did not anticipate the need to balance music against, you know, someone doing vocal commentary over a live stream. Let me get back into this. She has something for me. Have you heard news about the Goblet? No, I don't know what that is. All that quality land so desperately coveted is being auctioned off to bidders regardless of their origins. Even adventurers have the right to participate. Just imagine, the entire area can end up being owned by wealthy foreign... beg your pardon, sir. It isn't that I dislike adventurers, far from it, but when you consider that Ul'dah is still struggling to accommodate countless refugees, the idea that this land is being sold for profit is not surprising whatsoever, come to think of it. Still, the least they could do is give preferential treatment to hardworking Uldans like me. I've been saving for years, just waiting for an opportunity like this to come along. Say, you wouldn't happen to be curious as well, would you, about the Goblet? I think Goblet is the regional housing area, by the context of where this conversation seems to be going. My hands are full here, but if you've a moment to head that way and look into this auction business on my behalf, I'd be ever so grateful. There's bound to be an Immortal Flames representative by the gates or in the Goblet who can explain what's going on. This wouldn't happen without General Berber's approval. That much I'm sure of. Alright. Thank you for that. If only OBS would let you hear your stream. That might be, yeah. Well, because the way I have it set up is whatever I hear, you hear. So, if I was able to listen to my own stream, you'd end up... Well, there might be ways that I could get around that, but I'm starting to get like an Inception thing going on in my head just thinking about it. Inventing a spell. Oh, we're talking about this magic in this game. Yeah, surely any kind of viable side would have had a spell that would help preserve food. Yep. Maybe in Final Fantasy, nothing ever goes bad. Thought about that. Although I have no reason to assume that might be the case. Okay, what am I doing now? What am I doing? Losing track of what I'm doing. Not gonna do that. That's too high level. We're just returning. We're just returning. Where is that anyways, though, this goblet business? And I'm feeling like it's far. Alright, bird. I hear you. Okay, I don't even know where that is. I'm not gonna worry about it now. It's in a different zone, too, so I'm just gonna not sweat it. Quest accepted graphic looked like a stream thing. Yeah, it does look like the kind of like overlay thing I would put up. Hi, bird. Yes, we love you. Hi. Report to Milla, and that's in the other zone area. Okay, so we're gonna return back to our guild. Yes, bird. What is there a siren outside? Or is she just randomly getting noisy? I can also hear people moving around outside and talking, so maybe she's responding to them. It's one of the reasons why initially when I started my channel I didn't do things during the day, because bird chatter sometimes can be an issue. Nothing really goes bad, but it's never explicitly stated why, and incomplete universes bother me. Well, in video games, I mean, I hope it doesn't bother you too much, because most games have, especially RPGs where you loot animal parts, most games never address the spoilage issue. So, you might spend, I imagine you might spend a lot of time in games in general being, some of them don't even address the animal parts at all. You just go out and kill whatever's happening, and then that corpse like disappears 5 seconds later. It bothers you a lot. Alright. In the system I'm making, I was considering making rules for food going bad. Ultimately decided it would be too much of a hassle to keep track of. People complain about it. Oh, you're talking amongst yourselves on this issue. Okay. Going back to... Now, is the game volume too low now? Because I'm feeling like this epic music has gotten too soft, but that could just be my own headset volume. Excuse me. Man, all this reading today is drying me out. And I'm getting hungry too, so I'm getting a little bit... Yeah, we're gonna wrap up soon. Game volume is not too low. Okay, so I think maybe the problem is I haven't had my headset volume up loud enough, so I've been getting an inaccurate concept of what you've been hearing. You don't have an internal system clock when you're playing a tabletop game. Oh, alright. It just opens up as Tostitos and salsa. Oh, shit. Yeah, well, I'll be... In fact, yeah, I really... You know what? I'm not even gonna... Here, get off. Oh, now... Alright. You got those ruffians. You took care of it. Good job. How you doing? We'll speak again. See you later. Bye-bye. Ooh, what should I... Strength and tenacity. Strength and dexterity. So many things to consider here. But this one... I have an eye patch, really? I don't have a headpiece, so I'm gonna put that. I bet it's gonna look stupid as shit, though. Hold on. That's head stuff. That actually looks marginally badass. You can make your head stuff disappear if you wanted to. So, if I decide I don't like it, I can just hide it. But I don't know. I'm gonna wear it just for flair for a little while. There you go. Even though technically covering up one eye puts you at a tactical combat disadvantage. Final Fantasy version of Metal Gear Solid. Alright. I'm getting lost in that concept. So, I need to get ready to procure food for my wife for when my wife returns home in approximately 45 minutes, which means I gotta get cleaned up and get out of the house to procure the food, to have it back here in a coordinated effort so that when, ideally, she will arrive home almost at the same time that I'm bringing fresh, ready to eat food from the outside world, so that, and we don't have to worry about making her coming home on Friday after a long day at work and making food. And of course, I don't have to cook food because we both love Taco Bell. It's a treat. Why not procure a feud too? Well, maybe. Maybe I'll look into that. I'll look into that, Nick. Maybe my wife would, you know, after a long day, it might be a little too much if she came home and there was some sort of a feud happening. But who knows? Maybe she would like it. Maybe a nice change of pace from, you know, boring work, you know? Anyways, so we're gonna go here. And my thanks for watching screen. And according to my calculations, I have a view count of 10, even though it's counting me watching on my dashboard as one. But that's sort of my rule, is if I've got 10 people, if it's 10 or more people viewing, I do a raid. If it's less than 10, I don't do a raid. So wait, how is this music that I have in the background too loud versus my voice? Because I'm wondering if I just have my overall desktop sound was by default a little too loud. Oh, you're not Nick. Sorry, Noxire. It was an N name. I got lazy. I saw the N and I stopped. Where is Nick? It's fine, the music. All right, good deal. Yeah, another reason I need to get out of here. I'm getting that gnawing, hungry, somewhat disoriented thing going on in my head right now. So, not like I'm gonna pass out or anything. My voice is shot, and my ability to concentrate is a bit shot right now. Peter Speaker says it does not change the volume of stuff in OBS. No, it doesn't, but I do have my entire desktop audio set to a certain level in OBS. So that's what I would say, was wondering maybe I needed to adjust. I basically have my mic volume and I have my desktop audio, which is everything else, to balance. So like before, I was just tweaking different elements in game when I was speculating whether it was possible that my entire desktop audio setting in OBS was too loud. So yeah. All right. So let's see. We're going to take a look at who is on. I'm not going to do my, normally I hang out a little bit after my streams, but that's not the way today's going to be. It's going to be a quick strategic raid. And when I raid, I'm just going to basically be like, raid, gotta go. But one thing I like about these streaming at weird times is usually there's people that I don't normally get to see. I get raid targets that I normally don't have access to. In fact, you know what? Thamriel's streaming. He's a huge Final Fantasy XIV fan. And I don't believe I have ever had an opportunity to raid him. So, in fact, let me check though, because it could, maybe he... Okay, I just wanted to make sure that he hadn't just started and he was going to ramp up, because he's kind of a big channel. And so potentially, I don't like raiding channels that have a ton of people. But right now, he's only got 15 people watching, which is within range as a gesture of goodwill, since I've never got to raid him before. We're going to do a little hashtag Lawhawk raid, and in the end, as darkness takes me, I am nothing. That's right, buddy. What it comes down to in the end. Hashtag Lawhawk raid. That's where I am in the end. I'm the Lawhawk raid. And so there's that for you to spam in his chat. And here's the link. And thanks everybody for being here. Even though at the end I got weird because I ran out of steam and energy and focus and everything else because I'm getting hungry and rushed. But oh, we dropped down to 9 viewers. Do I cancel the raid? No, we're committed. Let's see, I guess you'll take my leave. Nice peek at Final Fantasy. Hope to see you later tonight for another. Possibly. I'm not. Normally though, I keep it down to 1 stream, so I wouldn't hold my breath, but it could happen. Also, CPG's going tonight. I don't like the counter program, so the odds are increasingly unlikely, but it could happen. Never say never. So there is a link for Mr. Thamriel, and thank you guys for hanging. go do a little raid for me at Tamriel. I think he's still... His stream looks frozen now that I'm looking at it, though. Okay, no, I just had it. There it is. Raid is started. All right, guys. We'll see you later. If I don't see you before next week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.